Speaking of council, the Democratic primary race for the 1st District seat is heating up. More attacks from the challenger, and now the incumbent is firing back. The issue at hand is the deferred retirement option plan. You know that is DROP. City workers sign up and set a retirement date up to 4 years in the future. Now, their pension account is frozen and deposited in a guaranteed interest-bearing account. When they retire, they get that money in a lump sum payment and then their full pensions. Here's the rub. It was supposed to be cost neutral, but a Boston College study showed it may be costing us more than $22 million a year. What's more, some elected officials and higher-ups are collecting the payout and then returning to work. Our Bruce Gordon's joining me now. Bruce, Frank DiCicco has a bullseye on his back here.
He does have a bullseye on his back, yeah, and that's partly because he's admitting this. Look, the whole idea of signing up for DROP was the biggest mistake of his legislative life, especially since he's decided to break that retirement pledge and, of course, seek re-election. Well, again today, Democratic challenger Joe Grace was outside City Hall as council met, blasting DiCicco's recent legislative proposal to allow those in DROP to change their minds, give up that lump sum check, and stay on the job. Now, Joe Grace says DROP has always required workers to make an irrevocable commitment to retirement. And he notes that lots of city workers who have wanted to change their minds and stay on the job have been turned down, told they must keep their promise and retire. As for DiCicco's escape clause bill,
and it's unwise policy. There's a simple solution to this. The council members that made an irrevocable promise to retire, including Councilman DiCicco, should honor their word and they should retire.
I don't know at the end of the day whether my bill will hold up to legal muster or not, but at least I'm trying, and I have been for 2 years, asking these same questions. You know, it's an election year and Joe's going to try to get as much mileage out of it as he can. Probably a little bit more mileage than it takes for him to get from where he lives in Chestnut Hill down to City Hall.
That last remark from DiCicco, a not-so-subtle allegation that Grace lives outside the 1st District, which of course would make him ineligible to challenge there. Grace told me this afternoon that his wife has a home in Chestnut Hill, but that they, the couple, live in his home on Aramingo Avenue in Port Richmond, within the 1st District. Grace called DiCicco's allegations, Lauren, desperate.
All right, I know we've talked about this a million times, but what about the cost and what about the study of the study?
Nothing really new to report there. Unfortunately, the Nutter administration's Boston College study showed DROP has cost the city about $258 million over the past decade, and it really has done little or nothing to aid the city in managing these retirements, planning for the move from the old employee to the new. As for the whole issue in council, well, it's absolutely the same as it was. They're waiting for their consultant to report back on the Nutter administration study, and we keep being told, well, another couple of weeks, another couple of weeks. The clock continues to tick, but some city residents are clearly getting impatient. For the second week in a row, a local Tea Party activist tried to talk about DROP during the public comment period of the council meeting.
I think everybody is very, very concerned with the appearance of unethical activities by council in handling the DROP program. And not only for council members, but the 9,000 people signed up for the DROP program. This is bankrupting the city.
Mr. Fisher, I think you were here last week.
Yes, I was.
You tried to get into the DROP program. I told you then, as I will tell you now, you will have sufficient time to discuss that issue when council has their public hearing.
Council President Anna Verner there talking about that public hearing. In fact, there has been no public hearing scheduled, at least as of yet, on the legislation to kill off DROP. Nothing to talk about officially because they still haven't gotten around to scheduling the public hearing.
I wish I could say here we're inching forward, but it doesn't even feel like that.
I think that's correct. We are not inching forward. The pressure continues to get ratcheted up. At 6 o'clock, some very intriguing comments by another DROP participant, Frank Rizzo. But as for legislative action, not much going on.
All right, Bruce Gordon, thanks for that update.
Sure.
We appreciate it.